and I get into arguments with Knicks fans on Twitter. Maybe too often that. Like a lot of them think that Emmanuel Mudiay is washed up, and I'm telling them like, yo, that's just ignorance. This is the seventh overall draft. He's 22, just 22? Turned 22. He's the seventh overall draft pick. Now, skip college to make $1 million, so his mother never had to work no more. Went to China. Stephon Marbury said, he's a better version of Derrick Rose that I saw. He might be better than John Wall because he actually has great basketball IQ. Like what everybody said from Moutier from day one is that he has high basketball IQ. That's why Phil Jackson thought that he would fit with the triangle offense. When he's like, I went with Porzingis over Moutier, and a lot of Knicks fans wanted Moutier. Now, I hear people saying Moutier struggles to finish at the basket. His shot looks like trash. He's not in good shape. These are the 3 points that everybody seems to mention about Emmanuel Mudiay. Now, let's go ahead. He never was said he had a good jump shot. That's the only thing has been his weakness. That's what you want to point out? That's like pointing out that Rajon Rondo struggles shooting the ball. Or like LeBron James has been, he struggles shooting the ball. Like, that's their worst thing about them. Second thing, he struggles at finishing at the basket. You know, there's 2 players in particular that had that problem. That when they were young, that somehow changed as they got older. Russell Westbrook, James Harden. 2 players that both struggled at finishing at the basket in their early years. Why? When you're young, you do not get calls. The refs are not going to give you calls just because you got body contact at the rim. You're not going to get it till you earn those and become a star. Mudiay is not a star. So every time he goes to the basket and goes through contact and misses the leg, they're like, he just can't finish at the basket. No, it's probably a foul. Like it's the reason he hit the ground and fell. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's 6'5". It's the reason why he fell to the ground. That doesn't mean that he can't finish at the basket. Yeah. That means those are probably fouls.
Yeah.
Third point. He's inconsistent. You tell me a young player under 22 that's consistent that has had 3 different coaches all those years. I'll wait. Like, name me the player. I'll name you the player. It can't be possible. You can't switch coaches and then become consistent when you're a young player. Like, Joe Wall was never consistent in the beginning. Why? Not till he's had now Scott Brooks for the last 3 years, you can say, oh, this is John Wall. This is who he's going to be. So, and then that's why I feel like the best reason for David Fizdale to become the Knicks head coach is Emmanuel Mudiay. This is the player that he can help the most. The player that most draft pundits compared Emmanuel Mudiay to was Tariq Evans. Tariq Evans just had his best year under David Fizdale. Isn't that a little ironic? And David Fizdale even made that point on ESPN the other day. He was like, I really think Mudiay could be a great player, and I had a player just like him in Tariq Evans. What we did was with Tariq Evans, we played to his strengths. A lot of teams would have make these kids play like Westbrook or make them play like Steph because that's successful. But at the end of the day, if you don't play to that kid's strength, you'll always almost make him who you want him to be, not who he's best to be. So I think, and then what Fizdale did with Mike Conley. Mike Conley also struggled at scoring at the basket. One, because he's smaller. Another thing is like he doesn't argue about calls. He doesn't get calls. He shot 37% at the basket. His first year under David Fizdale, he went up to 62%. His scoring went up, I believe, 5 points a game under Fizdale. That's what Fizdale said he wants to bring to Mudiay. This is the first coach that Mudiay has ever had that actually believed it. Mike Malone, when he first got him, said that I think Mudiay could be a good point guard, but we need him to actually become more consistent at shooting the ball. What? That's not his skill. And the reason that Jamal Murray became the point guard over Emmanuel Mudiay is what? Jamal Murray's a sharpshooter. Mike Malone wants shooters. His claim to fame is spread offenses. Mudiay would never fit in that. The same thing that Jeff Hornacek said about Mudiay. Mudiay is an extremely natural, talented player. When he starts to think about it, we start to see his inconsistencies. If we could get him to naturally play the game, his natural talent will take over. He's that talented. He could pass people open. But when we start to tell him to do this, do that, he starts to think, and he struggles out there. And that's what we're looking at. And Jeff Hornacek said this. Jeff Hornacek has been known to be almost like a point guard whisperer. Goran Dragic had his best years under Hornacek. Fucking Bledsoe had his best years under Hornacek. Trey Burke has screamed Hornacek. Jared Jack just had his best year under Hornacek. Hornacek was also a combo guard. That's what he did as a player. One of the better ones. Played aside Kevin Johnson. Played aside John Hornacek.
John Stockton.
Yes, I'm sorry. John Stockton. Sorry, I keep. So he played. So he understands how to develop a guard. So when he's talking about how to develop Frank Ntilikina, Emmanuel Mudiay, Trey Burke, Hornacek knew what he was doing. He was being right about that. What Perry and Mills are saying is the reason they were replacing Hornacek was because they wanted defense first team. That is not Hornacek's skill set. Hornacek will admit and say that's not what I am. Like I know offense. I know how to build a good offense, but I know how to make an adequate defense. A defense that will get my offense going. Whereas Mills is saying, no, we want...
Which was showcased in the beginning of the season.
Facts. When they had all their players together, they played a very good brand of basketball. Jeff Hornacek's a very good mind. I still think he's a very good head coach. But for what Perry and Mills want, that is not the guy. And it's simply for to have a successful organization, management, coach has to all be on the same page. They have to all align with the same vision.
Only way it works.
It is what it is. So Hornacek is just a curse of that, but Fizdale fits everything that they want. So I think it should work. To the point of, and then the last point I want to make to Mudiay is that Fizdale said that his last 4 weeks before he got hired, he had worked with he went to Warriors practice and watched how Steve Kerr does his thing, and he said he also learned under Larry Brown for 2 weeks because he wanted to learn how Larry Brown did those Detroit Pistons defenses. So he said he learned for 2 weeks, and while he was talking to him, Larry Brown was talking the praise of Emmanuel Mudiay because Larry Brown is the coach that wanted to recruit Emmanuel Mudiay. He was the one that actually recruited Emmanuel Mudiay out of high school. Emmanuel Mudiay was a #1 high school prospect out of high school in Texas. Larry Brown had recruited him to SMU. But then Emmanuel Mudiay decided to go to China and go professional and forego college. Larry Brown said he understood, but Larry Brown even said when the Knicks first traded for Emmanuel Mudiay, if a coach would actually really get into Emmanuel Mudiay and actually develop him because he's never been developed for his skill set, I feel like he can be the best point guard in the NBA. And that's what Larry Brown said.
I seen...
So now I'm just going off of what... So now I'm just saying for the whole Fizdale and the connection. So when Fizdale came in, he was like, I just spoke to Larry Brown about this kid Mudiay. So now I know through Larry Brown what we need to do with this kid. So I'm already telling Knicks fans, like, when y'all saying that y'all need to trade and get rid of Mudiay, that Scott Perry just did something that nobody's even talking about. He went out and traded for Mudiay, got basically a 7th pick in the draft that was most people thought might have been the best. He was a #1. He was talked about as a #1 pick before he went to China. And if he didn't went to college, most likely he would have been the #1 pick. So now Perry went out and got this player, got him for a 2nd round pick. That's a steal. Has him for 2 years on a rookie contract. That's a steal. Then he went out and got the coach that actually would know how to actually develop not only Mudiay, but Porzingis and Ntilikina. He's had success now with Gasol and Chris Bosh. Both had to learn how to become stretch bigs in this league under Fizdale. Porzingis is the new version of this era. And now you got Ntilikina. Like, whereas like Fizdale, if anything he's known for developing guards. And who's the guy that he just brought in with him? Nick the Quick Van Exel. So I'm just saying, like, I think Mudiay, if anybody, can benefit from this bringing in. I think Mudiay might, next year, you might see Mudiay a lot more like,
Oladipo?
Yes. Exactly like Oladipo. Exactly like Oladipo.
So I feel like you got that big jump. I just know when I seen Mudiay playing that African game, that's when I was like, this boy really does have talent. And like how it brought to what you brought up about the non-thinking. You like almost like celebrity games like that. You're not thinking. It's not real. You're just playing. Yeah. So when you see him with his non-thinking, you see his decision making just seems so much better, so much fluid in that game compared to I guess here with the. So I guess it depends how they work him out. I think it'd be dope to see.
And like,
it'd be exciting to see.
Like he's a true point guard, so it's not like he'll go out there and get his. Like a player that could go out and get his will eventually find their way. Mm-hmm. But a player like Mudiay is dependent on system and who he plays with, because he's a natural passer first. So he needs to adjust to who he's with. So now he's never had a coach. It's like same with Trey Burke. I feel like Trey Burke's another player that now will benefit so much from Fizdale because he's never had a coach that developed him for him. Mm-hmm. And the same with Victor Oladipo. Phil Oladipo had like 2 different coaches in Orlando. Then he got traded to another place with OKC. And he was like, oh, he looks like he could be really talented. He's a 2nd pick in the draft. But he's had 3 different coaches in his first 4 seasons. When did he get a chance to develop as a man? Not only as a player, as a man.
Another coach in Indiana.
Yeah, name is Miller. But Nick Miller was the assistant when I think Oladipo. No, he wasn't in Indiana. I'm sorry. That's another thing. But now you guys, Nick Miller. Nick Miller's a former point guard, a former guard that can now embrace what Oladipo is, a playmaking guard. Mm-hmm. Give him the ball.
Let him work. So yeah.
Let him grow up. We'll see what happens with the NBA playoffs. Another great change of pace sports, alternative views. Best urban talk on the entire world. You know what I mean?
Facto.